Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Bibbs Corner podcast. I am your host, as always, Mike Bibbins, at Bibbs Corner on Twitter. And this is episode 33 of the podcast, week 2 of the Mavs Fan Conversations. And again, I had plans to have 2 guests on, but that fell through. And so this week, it's going to be myself and at Mind of Reese on Twitter. We actually ended up talking for a very long time. Ended up being almost an hour and a half long conversation. So I chopped it up when we got off the topic of the Mavs and started talking about some other stuff. So I'll release that as a bonus episode tomorrow. It's about 20 something minutes of us talking about, I think we were talking about Giannis potentially leaving or staying and legacies, and we started talking about KD and LeBron and stuff like that. So we definitely got way off track, but it's good content, so I'm gonna put that out as a bonus. No questions this week, but anyway, it was a great conversation. I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to hit me up as always on Twitter if you're interested. The list is getting longer, but like I said, I'm trying to get, if I can fit you in, if I can find an angle to have a quality conversation, I'm open to whatever. So I'm trying to reach out to people that don't necessarily get all the attention in Mavs Twitter and stuff like that. So trying to add some different voices, let you introduce y'all to some people that maybe you haven't been necessarily following on the timeline, whatever the case may be. And I haven't done this before, but I'm going to ask if you are listening on Apple. I don't know if Spotify does it or not, but if you're listening on Apple, at the very least, if you want to go and leave a review on Apple, send me that screenshot. I'll definitely give y'all a shout out on the pod at the very least. That's the very least I can do, and maybe some other stuff down the line. We'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Y'all didn't come here for me to ramble. You came to check out the conversation, see what we were talking about. So enjoy.
All right, cool.
Welcome back to yet another edition of the Bibbs Corner podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mike Bibbins, at Bibbs Corner on Twitter. And this is round 2 of the conversations with the MFFLs, the Mavs Fan Conversations. And today I'm joined by none other than Mind of Reese, and that's Reese on Twitter. How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, relaxed. Just got done watching that double T game. So,
man, I can't tell if I was mad at that game or excited like that.
I don't understand how my team isn't even in the playoffs anymore, and these games are stressing me out. It don't make sense.
Right. And it's like, I don't even know who I want to win most of these games, but somehow it's still stressful.
I kind of want to see the Celtics and the Heat. I feel like that'd be a good 7-game matchup, but Toronto ain't got no quit, so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it feel like the Celtics should put them away. Like, they feel like the better team, but then Toronto's just hanging right there with them, so.
I mean, they just had a Marcus Smart 20-point triple-double and still didn't win, so. That's set. That game 7 going to be pretty lit. I can't wait.
So that's going to be something to see. We'll see who steps up in that one. Siakam can't get away with 10 points.
I don't know man. I told people about this boy, man.
The playoffs will expose you.
I've been telling people, man. I'm like, hey, he's really good. You can be the best player on your team. You can be an all-star, but can you be the guy when they need you to be? And I don't think he's that guy. But luckily, he got a good supporting cast, so I guess we'll see.
You're gonna have to get in the lab in the offseason, but so if y'all recall last week, I was supposed to get T on here with Kenny. I tried to push T to this week so I could get T and Reese on here together. T actually, I reached out to her because I had a couple options, and I asked her who she would prefer, and she chose you.
Oh, okay, cool. And then she didn't show up.
And then she disappeared on me. So It is what it is. I mean, she just helping me pick my guests at this point.
Sure.
So I have to ask though, since we're on the topic of Twitter, at the time of this recording, you said you are in Twitter jail. You want to explain anything about that, or
I think
you don't want to self-incriminate?
I think you'd be pretty proud of the reason I'm in Twitter jail. First of all, what's the boundaries on language?
PG-13.
PG-13. Okay. So it was something that Kenny tweeted. I think it was during the Lakers game.
Okay.
Or not the last Lakers game, but the one before that, I think. And he said something about Rondo. And I said, he's a whole ass N-word. And now I'm in Twitter jail for 7 days.
Come on, man.
Right. Yeah. It's chicks tweeting their OnlyFans content. And I say that. And now I'm in Twitter jail. So it is what it is.
Like, what is... I mean, do you know how you got there? Like, is it only one person has to report you, or like multiple people have to report it?
I'm not sure, because if it works the way Facebook does, and it's kind of funny because like I'm like the C murder of Facebook jail at this point. I've had 2 Facebook pages just Thanos snapped out of nowhere and now they're gone.
Oh,
but Twitter, I feel Twitter was more, lenient with it. But
usually,
I mean, come on, you've seen some of the stuff that I've put on Twitter before. It's outrageous. So I definitely didn't expect that to get me some time, but I don't know if someone reported it. Maybe it was a Lakers fan on my timeline.
Man, come on, man. That's weak.
I'm in there till Sunday, so I'll be out soon with my madness.
All right, well, free Reese. We're going to hope that you come back and don't go back to the system, because we know how it is.
I ain't shutting up for nobody, so I'm still going to be wilding. If they want to put me back in jail, they can.
And that's kind of why I wanted to get y'all on here, because, again, I had her and Kenny because, they always getting into it with the fans on the timeline.
Right.
But then I thought, you know what, T and Reese could work too, because they both 2 of the wildest people on the timeline with everything is going down. Like, nothing it's unfiltered.
I thought I was pretty wild, but I'm not going to lie. T might have me beat in some aspects. Like, I done said some stuff and I'm scrolling, seeing her tweets, and I just got to stop. Like, did she really just say
that? Yeah, she's something else, but I don't know. I might have to give up on trying to get her on here. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe you just got to pitch it her by herself. Maybe that's the lucky charm. I'm not sure.
That might be what we need to do. I'm trying to diversify, trying to have the ladies on, everything like that. But
you were supposed to have someone else on too, right? I thought I heard you say something else.
So far she the only one that's hit me up. So we'll see what happens going down the line. But while we're talking about you still, so you are from Baltimore,
absolutely,
right?
Born and raised.
So I have to ask, how'd you get to be a Mavs and Saints fan? Because that's the question I
now
always get.
The Mavs, I always get it too. The Mavs fan, it's almost, no, it's not similar at all, actually. The Mavs fan, I always grew up a basketball guy, so basketball is always ahead of football for me in anything. But growing up, obviously, Baltimore didn't have a basketball team. The Bullets were moved to Washington. And as a kid, I didn't know a damn thing about the map. I didn't know how close DC was to Baltimore. I'm going to be honest. So I didn't care about the Wizards. And the first, was it the first basketball game? Yeah. I had NBA Live, like I think it was 2003. And I didn't have a team. I would just play with teams on there. I played with the Rockets. Then I played with the Pacers. And I just started playing with the Mavericks, and I was like, damn, I really like their jerseys. So I started playing with the team, and it just translated to the real NBA. For some reason, I was obsessed with Rafe LaFrance. I don't know why. And I was so upset when he went to fucking Portland. But, yeah, that's how that started. And the Saints fan, before I knew much about football, I didn't really start following football until about 2005, 2006. And I was paying a bit of attention to college football. And I saw Reggie Bush. And I was like, this dude is amazing. I said, whatever team he goes to, I will support that team. Because I supported the Ravens, but I didn't know much about football. And till this day, I still, I have love for the Ravens. They're just not my team. But yeah, it just started from me being a fan of Reggie Bush, and I just fell in love with the team and been with him ever since. Like Reggie Bush is still my favorite player of all time till this day, but my love for the Saints is way beyond Reggie Bush at this point.
And I remember like, cause I don't remember if it was, I guess it was high school, but I remember staying up, might have been freshman year of college, something like that. But I remember staying up late at night to watch those USC games just because Reggie Bush was that crazy. Like you never knew what he
I
was
had
going to do.
never seen anything like that in my life. Like the stuff he was doing, I would do on Madden on rookie mode, like just having
Right.
fun. But
Like that's video
right,
game stuff, literally.
I had never seen anything like it. I said, okay, if this is what they're doing in football, I definitely watch. Granted, he went to the NFL and did none of that, but
I remember, I think it was Fresno State they played, and I think that game it was like 2 a.m. or something stupid. And I think it was the game where he like ran to the left up the field, up the sidelines, and then like stopped on a dime and like ran all the way back across the field to get to the touchdown. Like,
had I known anything about football back then, I'd have like seen like what this dude is doing is amazing, but I know it won't translate well to the NFL.
right.
Granted, I was like 2005, 2006. I was in middle school, so I'm showing
Oh
my
man,
age. Yeah, but yeah, I was in middle school.
making me feel old over here.
I was in middle school. I didn't know much, so I'm just assuming he
Gotcha.
can do this here. He can do it anywhere. Now,
Right.
you're not gonna fool me twice, but
And that's funny. And I'll use this opportunity because I haven't talked about this on the podcast, but I'm a Mavs fan and a Ravens fan.
oh, okay.
Um, and so my history is, my dad was in the military, so from the age of 3 to 7, I was living in Texas. And basketball, like you said, basketball came first for me because that was what my dad played, and I got to be like pops. So I was playing basketball, and my uncle got me a Jason Kidd rookie jersey. And so I wasn't really watching the NBA, but I had this Jason Kidd jersey, and I wear it all the time. A couple years later, we moved back to Delaware, and video game came out. Like I had seen that same jersey in Space Jam because Sean Bradley was one of
Right,
the people that
right.
took. So that jersey came up again, and then when the video game came out, I chose their team, and they had Sean Bradley and like this real tall 7'6" dude. And then I think it was a young Dirk. I think it was like Live 99 or something like that. So it was like a tall dude that could shoot threes, and it was just a fun team to play with. And it stuck from there pretty much. And I think it was the perfect time to come in as a
Yeah,
fan.
I think the time I came in really was the perfect time because, I mean, first of all, I'm a kid. Nobody's gonna accuse me of being a bandwagon fan. And 2002, 2003 is where him and Nash really started to blossom. It sucks
Yeah,
that I came in 2 years before they decided not to sign Steve Nash back, but it is
man,
what it is.
that hurt my
And
soul. That hurt
it's
my
funny
soul.
because like looking back now, Dirk retired. I freaking cried. But back then, I did not appreciate Dirk the way that I do now at all. I used
Yeah, Nash was definitely my favorite too. Like I chose the number 13 partially because of Steve Nash.
it's like I would say the whole he's soft thing. Nah, we don't need him to win. And looking back, I'm like, dude, what were you talking about? Like, oh man,
You
I
didn't know
didn't
no
know no
better.
better.
Oh, that's funny to see how it comes full circle like that too. Just like he was there for so long. It's
Is you
crazy.
don't really. They always say you don't appreciate them until they're gone. I mean, granted, I started appreciating them way before he was gone, but in the beginning, I guess you can say my relationship, quote unquote, with Dirk grew.
And that's how it should be. At the end of the day. Um, but then my Raven fanhood, I was actually so I had the 76ers too because I liked Iverson. He was my idol as basketball. But over time, that kind of I had like an East team and a
Right.
West team. And once Iverson left the 76ers, I went ahead and let them go. With football, like I said, I grew up in Texas. So all my friends were Cowboys fans. It was everything was Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. And I hated I didn't want to be like everybody else. So I figured out what team everybody hated, and this was the early 90s. So it was the 49ers.
Okay.
So I became a 49ers fan. Jerry Rice was the dude. Like just so I could be different.
Did they have Steve
Like
Young
I
at the
said,
time?
I think they did. Yeah, they still had
Okay.
Steve Young initially. Like this was like 93, 92, 93, somewhere in that range. I was young
Okay.
at this point. And so then I kept them pretty much. We moved back to Delaware. The Ravens still didn't exist. We moved to Maryland in 99, 98, 99. And then, the team had come at that
Right.
point. And there was a whole bunch of hype. Like I remember listening to the radio. It was Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. And so I just fell in love with the team. And of course, they won the Super Bowl 2000.
With
And that was it. That was pretty
That's
much
kind of
it.
crazy to think about. Like, I don't think people talk about that enough. The fact that they became a team in '96 and won the Super Bowl in 2000.
Right. Like they had a whole expansion thing, draft situation.
Like,
Like, I mean, obviously they were a
right.
ready-made team, but it was a trash team.
Like the Houston
Like the
Texans,
team was
I think
trash.
the Houston Texans situation is kind of different. But the fact that you think about when the Houston Texans came around and have they even been out of the second round of the playoffs? Like,
Right. They were trash for a
a
very long
very
time.
long time. Like, I don't think enough people talk about that. But, shout out to the Ravens because I'm pretty sure it's going to be some Ravens fans listening to this.
No, most definitely. So, yeah, the Ravens, that was pretty much it. I think I kept the 49ers for a little while, like all the way through T.O. being there. And then I even actually supported them almost up to 2011, 2012, just because. And I liked Alex Smith in college, and I think there was like a rivalry between Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers. So I wanted Alex Smith to do well. Then they had Kaepernick, and I liked him. But I think that 2012 Super Bowl, it was the Ravens versus the 49ers. I was like, all right, I got to make a call. And I just went all in on the Ravens. And that was
And
the
the
end of
thing
that.
was, while I was a Saints fan, at this point in my life, I had found like any reason to be fan of a football team. But I was a Jaguars fan from about 2007 till about last year, because it started with Maurice Jones-Drew.
Okay.
And ever since then, I supported the Jaguars. It was always the Saints, but I supported the Jaguars too. But after they got to the AFC Championship and decided to just blow up the team, I told people, I said, before it happened, I said, if they go out and sign Nick Foles, I'm done. Like, I'm finished. And they sure did it. And now I have a Jaguars hoodie with my name on the back that I have to sell on eBay to somebody with the last name Williams that's a Jaguars fan.
You got to retire that.
I got to retire it and hang it up in the back of the closet somewhere.
That's funny. But it's weird how your fanhood develops. And again, these stories, nobody's should be able to call you a bandwagon.
I always
like
told people, like, the Jaguars were ass for years. There's no way I'm going to just be a bandwagon and support this team. So, yeah.
That's why I say, too, like, Mavs and Ravens ain't necessarily had they both have rings in my timeline here, but there's 3 total between 20-some years of fanhood.
Let's put it like this. We went
better.
through a lot of heartbreak before we got to that ring in 2011.
And for me, that's what it's about being a fan, is suffering through for that major payoff.
Like, I remember it was 2011. I think at that time we were still I wasn't out of school yet as far as like the end of the school year. And it was a school night. And I said, that 2011 was the year I graduated, so I was 18. I said, screw this, I'm staying up. Like, everyone in the house was asleep, and I tried so hard to contain myself when I knew we were about to win the championship. I had waited for so long. And it's funny because, like, my best friend I've known since I was 4, he's a Heat fan. Well, he was a Heat fan. Dwayne Wade was his favorite player. And he gave me
all that is unfortunate.
He gave me the business in 2006.
Oh, I can't only
imagine.
And
the funny part is he was a Colts fan too. So he got the business twice.
Oh, that's funny. But that's good for the friendship. That's good for the friendship.
Yeah, I ain't holding nothing back, so,
Well, it could be bad. I've lost some friends like that
too.
Some Patriot fan friends.
I got too many Patriots friends that I like to mention. So
sorry to hear that too.
My mom liked the Patriots, so it's really bad.
Oh man, Oh man,
Yeah, I'm
yeah, that's
adopted
rough.
now, so.
All right, so we talked about this for
Right,
quite a
right.
while. It's time to get to some modern Mavs basketball. So first of all, tell me how you feel about the way this season went in the playoffs. I know there's some recent stuff with Pat Bev bringing Luka up for absolutely no reason. We know how Marcus Morris did. So to go through the whole thing, how do you feel about the season and how you feel about that playoff series?
Let me address the whole Marcus Morris Patrick Beverly thing. I really liked Patrick Beverly. I was one of the fans who really wanted him on the team last offseason. Patrick Beverly can kick rocks. Marcus Morris can definitely kick rocks. To be honest, everybody on the Clippers can kick rocks except Kawhi Leonard and Lou Williams. Now that that's out the way, as far as the season, I want to say I'm not disappointed. I am. I was disappointed in the regular season due to the fact that we could have finished way higher than the seventh seed if we would have just done what we needed to do in certain games. We
Right.
had way too many close games that we lost to teams we shouldn't have lost to, like both Knicks games. We got blew out by the Suns. We blew a
Yep.
30-point lead to the Toronto Raptors. Those games could have changed. If we finished at least six, I'm pretty sure we'd be in the second round right now. But when they got to the playoffs, I really didn't expect what we got from the Mavericks. I honestly expected us to get one game max, but I was really proud of the way they played. And I know Kenny mentioned it when he
Yeah.
said he's not one for like moral victories. And I'm not either, but it's hard to come away from that thinking negatively about the team. If anything, I'm more excited about the future and next season.
Exactly. And that's, I kind of went in with that mentality of, you know, I told myself, the goal was to make the playoffs. We got matched up with the team we least wanted to
Right.
play. And so now for me, it became about this series is going to tell us who we should keep and who we need to replace or where we need to
Oh, it
upgrade.
definitely told us that.
And I think we got all those questions answered. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, personally. Um,
I,
but so how do you feel about that? Who do you feel is secure? Who we need to keep, and who needs to be on their way out?
I think there's a few maybes in the middle. Uh, for
Okay,
me, Seth Curry is a maybe because I'm a Seth Curry stan. My Twitter name is Seth
I'm back on his
Curry's.
jersey.
So yeah. Uh, but he has his flaws. Kenny
Right.
mentioned it. I mean, he's not aggressive enough. I think he also mentioned if you put Tim Hardaway Jr.'s aggression into Seth Curry, that'd be the perfect player.
He might be
He
better than
might be
Steph.
better than Steph or just as good. But speaking of Tim Hardaway Jr., he has to go. I don't like I I've hated Tim Hardaway Jr. before he joined the Mavericks. And I mean not like I just hate his game. I don't hate him as a person.
Right.
But uh
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna accept that player option. He'd probably be a fool not to. I think he's making about what, eight.
It's 18. It's going to be almost 19. 18.97
Yeah,
next year.
and I'm pretty sure no one else is gonna pay that if he declines it. So
No
which
one.
means we have to trade him. At any means necessary. We have to trade him. I just don't think he fits because he's perfect to come off the bench, but you don't want him coming off the bench because you don't want the ball in his hands too much because no one else
Exactly.
is going to touch it. Uh,
And that's who he's been his whole
that's
career.
true. I mean, we can't really.
Go back
We
to
knew what we were
Atlanta.
getting, so Dorian Finney-Smith has to stay, in my opinion.
Okay.
I like the way his game has developed this season as opposed to last season. He still couldn't put the ball on the ground and dribble if his life depended on it, but that's not his role. So I don't really get upset because that's not what he's expected to do. He shouldn't do it though. I would like to see him become a better 3-and-D player though, because he's really good
Okay.
defensively, but his 3-point shooting it's not very consistent. Same with Maxi Kleber, but then again, I don't know what happened to his 3-point shot in the bubble.
Now they said it was because his girl broke up
Yeah,
with him. I gotta put like when he was with her, he was stupid. Like,
yeah, maybe
so,
we
some people believe
maybe
that.
we should. Well, then if that's the case, he should have been motivated to get to the second round so he can get some Instagram thoughts in the bubble or something, like something to get your mojo back. But the only ones that have to go, in my opinion, are like I said, Tim Hardaway. It's
Right.
time for JJ to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Pretty sure a lot of people are gonna agree. Some won't, but it's time for him to go. Justin Jackson should already have his bags packed. Um, and DeLon Wright for sure. I was never. I'm not gonna say I was negative on the signing of DeLon Wright. I was just never too excited. I saw a lot of
Right.
people excited about it. I was like, he's a simple rotational player, and the Mavs are signing him to be what, a starting point guard. I don't see how
Yeah.
that helps us.
It was an interesting signing. Like I feel like a lot of Mavs fans, you want to be excited about anything the team does.
Yeah,
So you just try to find the best case scenario for the role, but it was pretty obvious pretty early that it wasn't going to be a
I
fit.
just try to be realistic. The whole off season, last season for the Mavericks was basically the SpongeBob meme of him sitting at the table just waiting, because we literally waited all off season for something to happen and nothing happened. The only people we signed Seth, Boban, and DeLon, but only two of those people really played minutes.
Right.
I really feel bad saying this, but I would like to see Dwight Powell go. It feels
Okay.
kind of. I don't want to say it right now because the injury he's dealing with. I would never wish that on anybody. I know it's not going to happen even if he was healthy because they love Dwight Powell. But Trey Burke, we got to lock Trey Burke up as far as the people who have to stay. Trey Burke
Okay.
has to get locked up. When we signed him before the bubble, I was questioning it because we probably should have signed a big, but the way he balled in that Clipper series and during the bubble, he showed me all I need to see. Jalen
Right.
Brunson has to be careful. He might take his spot
Yeah.
because
That's what I was saying
I
last
would
week.
like both of them off the bench, but I'm not sure how I
Okay.
feel about them coming off the bench together because that's a really small backcourt. I think Trey Burke is
Exactly.
about 6 feet tall on a good day, and
Yeah. And Brunson, they say 6'3", but
yeah, I'll give him 6'2". I don't know about 6'3".
yeah, he looks shorter than he is if he's 6'3", and he plays definitely a lot smaller.
Jalen started to annoy me a little bit before he went down with that injury too, especially in clutch moments. He tried to be someone he isn't instead of just being a point guard. But I still like
Exactly.
Jalen. I would like to see him stay, but if we can use him, if he still has value, if we can use him to as far as a trade to lure in a nice third piece, I'm all for it. Ship him right out. But
Okay.
the last person I think needs to stay is Boban, and it has nothing to do with his on-court ability. I think Boban is a really nice vocal veteran leader, and I
Right.
think what made me realize it the most was when KP got ejected. You saw Boban talking to him. You saw Boban telling him like, "Hey, I get it, but you have to understand if you already have that first technical, you have to be careful and you can't put yourself in those kind of situations." I
Right.
think he's good for maybe the JJ role, since JJ is most likely on his way out, to be that veteran
Right.
presence in the locker room. Plus, I like the chemistry he has with the team, especially Luka. So those are the only ones I think need to stay. Anybody else is expendable aside from Luka and Porzingis, obviously. But
Right. So Maxi's expendable.
Maxi's definitely expendable
Uh,
at this point. Yeah, I love Maxi, but it's nothing against Maxi. It's just that I think Maxi has value. A lot of teams will like Maxi, which means
right.
if we're trading for a third piece, we most likely have to include Maxi.
And his contract is very tradable. Him and Seth kind of fall into that same camp where you want to keep him, but if the right trade comes along, they are probably going to have to be in that trade.
Absolutely, which I'm okay with.
Like even a Bradley Beal type situation, like one of them is probably going to have to
Yeah,
be in
no
there.
question.
So,
And if we're getting Bradley
that's
Beal, I'm definitely okay with trading Seth Curry or Maxi Cleveland.
and that's it's tough for me because those are my
Right.
guys, Seth and Maxi. But like you said, like at the end of the day, if Bradley Beal's on that line and they said, yeah, we'll take THJ, but we need Maxi too, then I guess I'll just have to be watching some Wizards game to catch my Maxi fix.
Hey, look, I'm right next to DC. When everything opens back up and they have fans again, I'll support them when they play the Mavs. But, appreciate your services. Wish you the best. But you got to go.
Yeah, it is what it is at that point. And I think that pretty much covered everybody that was under contract. I think there's one guy who's not under contract who I think Kenny said he wanted him to stay. So how do you feel about MKG?
Oh, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavericks don't sign him back. But I would really be okay with them signing him back simply because we need wing defenders. And there's a chance that we're not able to sign one of the. It's not really many big wing defenders in free agency this year, I don't think.
I didn't really check. I probably
I
should at
had
that point.
checked. I was up last night and I checked some, but I don't think there's many. But
I know Jeremy Grant is like he's probably
I
gonna
think
get
that's the
paid.
main one. I think he's the main one. I think there might be one or two more. Jay Crowder is one.
Oh yeah, Jay Crowder is
Yeah.
another guy that a lot of people
I would like to see him come
like.
back, possibly.
We could use that toughness.
Justin Holiday isn't bad. I'm not sure if I wouldn't put him up there as a great defender, but he's
kind of slight of
slight
build,
build. Yeah.
but he can hit threes.
But the thing with MKG is we can get him for cheap. Like he's not gonna demand much.
Exactly.
So we don't need him to shoot. I know it's something with Mavs Twitter and the Mavs fans that they feel like everybody has to shoot. No, everyone does not have to shoot. As long as he plays really great defense and really good defense, which I feel like he did in the Clipper series, I definitely like to see him come back.
Yeah, it's all in how you use them, who you play them with. Like you can have a one player on the court who
exactly. Shoot. They always say
as long as they know their role.
They always say something like the best coaches fit their scheme around the players they have.
Exactly. So that would be an interesting one. And then the last one I got to ask about is Willie Cauley-Stein. Do you want to see him back?
Would I like to see him back?
Would you rather pursue some other
I
bigs?
would prefer some other bigs. I would definitely prefer some other bigs. I have about 2 or 3 in mind. But if it's I don't really see anybody going to pay Willie Cauley-Stein, to be honest. Not much.
Probably more than his player option, just like $2 million.
I think Willie Cauley-Stein would be one of those. If we strike out on some of the bigs we're trying to get, okay, here's the last resort. Let's bring Willie Cauley-Stein back in. So I would like to see him back. I think he did pretty well. I think we definitely missed him in the bubble for sure.
No,
but I would like to see him back.
Okay, so with that said, I mean that's kind of a transition. Who are some guys that are on your short list? Like if you had to name, I'll say 5 guys that you want us to be very aggressive with and try to keep it realistic.
Yeah, I definitely, I kept it realistic. I mean, I got an opinion on Giannis too, but we'll save that for anyway. 5. I'm going to start with the first one. The first one is a guy that I just knew we were going to get last offseason, Danilo Gallinari.
Okay. Oh, man.
I would love first of all, we need shooting. I think Danilo is a decent defender. I wouldn't put him on the other team's best player, but that's what we have Finney-Smith for.
Let me jump in real quick on that note. Mm-hmm. First of all, I've always been a Gallinari guy. Like going back to the trade from Melo to Denver. Same. And there was a play, I can't remember if it was in the playoffs or what, but it was Gallinari got matched up on KD or something, or Steph or something like that. And you know how, they ISO, like, oh, let me cook them real quick. and he picked his pocket. I can't remember exactly who it was, but like when he locks in, he can be good, like almost like Luka.
It's the same thing they do to
But
Maxey. They call the ISO on
right,
Maxey thinking they got thinking he barbecue chicken, like Shaq would say. And they find out that your scouting team did not do their job.
right. Like he's long. He's longer than you think he is. He's quicker than you think he is, and he's not stupid.
I think Danilo can come in and step in and fill, well, not fill Maxey's role because he can't play center, but I think if Danilo Gallinari steps in, he'd arguably be the second best shooter on the team behind Seth. I think it's a tie
Yeah,
between him and Porzingis, but I would love Danilo Gallinari on the team. Absolutely love Danilo Gallinari.
I would like that too, just because I want to see him win for the most
Same.
part, and then obviously great
Right.
fit,
Uh,
and he's unrestricted too. So I like that. I like that
the
choice.
second one is I can't think. I think me and you talked about this on Twitter, or maybe it was me and Kenny, but Fred VanVleet. Uh, I would
Okay,
like Fred VanVleet, but I'm not sure about how much money I would like the Mavs to pay Fred VanVleet
and that's gonna be the question.
because I think he deserves a bag this offseason. But I don't know if he deserves a 20 plus million back this offseason.
That's where I was gonna go. Like, is it 20 mil? Are you willing to do
I'm
that?
not willing to pay Fred VanVleet $20 million because we've seen this all too much with these players where I'm not saying Fred VanVleet is a system player. I think he's really good.
Right.
But what if he comes to the Mavericks and he's not as good as he was in Toronto? Because if we're being honest, we don't have the supporting cast Toronto has. What if
Right, and order the
right?
system.
So what if he has to do more and he can't, and now we're stuck with a $20+ million contract for who knows how many years? Then his value goes down, and we can't trade him and get something good back. So I would say
Right.
around the 16 to $19 million range.
So if you can get him in that range, you
Yeah,
would do it.
absolutely, I would do it because he definitely
Okay.
he brings good defense, good team defense, not even just on ball defense. I think people underrate how much a team needs team defense. You don't just need on ball defenders all the time. We need another person who can handle the ball and facilitate besides Luka, which he can
Right.
do. We don't need him to be freaking Steph Curry, but he can do the job that Rondo does for the Lakers when LeBron doesn't have the ball.
Yeah.
As far as number 3 goes, another shooter, which I think can come pretty cheap, Davis Bertans.
Okay.
The Latvian laser. I love Davis Bertans. I have been dreaming all season of Davis Bertans catching spot up shots from driving kicks from Luka. And we need shooters. The main thing we need is shooters, rebounders, and a wing defender. If we can get one of each, I feel like we can make a big push for the playoffs next year. Because we almost did it this year. I feel like if Kristaps didn't get hurt,
Yeah.
it's a different story. But Davis Bertans, I think we can get around maybe 13 million. I'm not
You would go
sure how
13?
I'm not sure how much he's making right now. I'm not a big
Sure how much he's making either.
salary guy.
I don't think he's making that much money, quite honestly.
I think he might be making about 8 or 9 million.
I can find out real quick.
Yeah, I think it's 8 or 9 million. So I would say the 13, $15 million range would be pretty good for Bertans.
Interesting.
The only issue is with Bertans and Gallinari is Kristaps will have to play center.
And that was going to be my question. Would you do both, or is it like a either or for him and Gallinari?
No, it's either or because I don't think there's a reason for us to get both.
Same role type of thing.
Yeah, and
And he
plus,
is making $7 million right now, by the way.
okay, 7 million. Ideally, I don't know how much cap the Mavs are working with, especially if Tim Hardaway opts in. But if we can sign one, we don't have to go out and get a superstar. Like if we can sign a nice role player who can defend and clean the glass, nice role player who can knock down shots, nice role player who can defend on the wing. That's perfect. Just spread the money around. You don't have to pay one person $20+ million. But
and I think that what we're finding out in these playoffs, or what I'm seeing, is depth is going to win you championships in the way the game is played right now.
Absolutely, because I hate the Clippers, but that team is deep. Like,
if somebody's off, they got somebody else they can put in and see what happens.
Paul George, Pandemic P, was not stepping up, and Lou Williams had himself a 30+ point game.
Right.
You got 2 6-mans of the year sitting on the bench. You got Marcus Morris at power forward who can give you 20 a night on any given night. You got Reggie Jackson, who's a wild card. Like, the Raptors have depth, the Celtics, the Heat, the Nuggets. That's why I was so upset with how passive the Mavericks front office was last offseason. A Mavs fan actually blocked me because I called out Donnie. I called out Donnie Nelson, but oh well. But yeah, Gallinari and Bertans, it would only be one or the other. I don't feel a need to pay both. But
so that's your shooter spot.
Yeah, if I had to choose, it would be Gallinari, simply because I would always take a veteran, especially a veteran as good as Gallinari.
Somebody who's done it for a long time, you don't have to question anything.
Exactly, and he has playoff experience.
Exactly.
Another guy will be Tristan Thompson.
Okay.
I would really like to see Tristan Thompson, one of the most underrated rebounders in the league. I mean, he isn't a rim protector, but he can play some pretty good low post defense. Even for
you just need a body, and as far as I'm concerned,
right. Even for an undersized center, I think he's about 6'8" or 6'9".
Is he 6'8"?
I think he's 6'8" or 6'9", one of them.
Okay, but he's got long arms, I think.
Right. He has playoff experience, championship experience, a lot of it playing with LeBron. So I feel like that'll be perfect. Like, no, he's not going to clog the lane. Like like Kenny says, he's not going to clog the lane. A pick and roll with Luka would be nice. I think he can give us a nice 12 and 13. I will put him in the top 5 rebounders in the league. So I would love Tristan Thompson, but I'm not going to say Andre Drummond because everybody says Andre Drummond. But
I don't think he's not a free agent, is he?
I think he has a play option.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's gonna.
He's in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. If I had a play option in Cleveland, I'm definitely leaving. But he may want to get his money.
$28 million player option.
Then again, I don't know if somebody's paying him that much, so he may be staying.
He probably gonna stay and hope for a trade or something.
But in that case, I would like Dwight Howard. I think Dwight Howard has had a resurgence. Oh, you like that one? Okay.
I had him on my list last year.
Okay.
People were asleep. But I watched him in Charlotte, and he was hooping.
This is what people forget. Dwight Howard, people think Dwight Howard has been bad because of how dominant Dwight Howard was in his prime. Dwight Howard has still been averaging triple-doubles in Washington, Atlanta, and Charlotte. Or close to a not triple-double, double-doubles in Atlanta. In Atlanta.
Say Dwight did what?
In Atlanta, Charlotte, and Washington. So, I feel like he fits it perfectly. Like, he's had a resurgence in LA.
You don't need him to play 30 minutes.
You don't at all.
You play him 20 minutes, 25, depending on the matchup. And my key is, because that's your 5th guy, right?
Yeah.
My key is, and why, a couple reasons I think Dwight is perfect. One, he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit. He's physical. He's still athletic. Like, he can catch lobs.
Yep.
Sets good screens, rolls hard, runs the court, still can clean the glass. And again, you play him 20, 25 minutes, he's not going to get worn down. And then you can still bring Dwight Powell off the bench and do the same stuff with him that you've been doing.
Exactly.
You just don't have to depend on him as much.
Dwight just got to make it right, man. He was supposed to come here in 2013, and he went to Houston. Make it right, Dwight. Put it on a billboard. Make it right, Dwight.
We have a history of getting these guys later than they should have came. So.
DeAndre Jordan, Darren Williams.
So it's only right for him to come on through.
And he's had he looks like the Dwight in LA, not as far as dominance, but as far as him smiling and having fun.
He's happy.
and you think you having fun playing with LeBron James, you about to have a lot of fun running pick and rolls with Luka Doncic. I promise you.
Right.
I would love to see that.
No, I think you got it. You got it. Everybody you said except for Van Vliet is on my list.
Well, who would be on your list in place of Fred?
So that Fred Van Vliet role is where I want to see THJ traded.
Okay.
I don't want to get somebody small, first of all. So he plays hard, but I still think his size is an issue. I think we're seeing it in these playoffs where he can't really get inside like he wants to and do damage because of the length of the Celtics.
The size thing is something I definitely considered. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mention someone later where you're probably gonna bring the size thing up, but I definitely understand.
So when I look at that spot, I'm looking at Jrue Holiday as a trade target.
Absolutely, he's on my list.
Bradley Beal as a trade target. Victor Oladipo as a trade target. Like those, that's where I'm looking at is filling that secondary score ball handler type role.
Okay, so the thing with Bradley Beal is I would love that. I just don't think it's realistic because I don't think the Wizards are ready to blow that team up.
What do you think that's going to depend on? I think John Wall's health is the key.
I think they're in a better position than anything because Rui Hachimura is really nice. I really like Rui Hachimura. If they keep Davis Bertans, that'll be good too.
Right.
They have Thomas Bryant,
who I won it last year also.
And when John Wall comes back, before John Wall was the guy, and Bradley Beal was more so like Jamal Murray pre-playoffs. Like, he was good, but he wasn't a superstar yet. Now, Bradley Beal has had the experience of leading the team, being the guy. Now you have two number ones, and John Wall doesn't even have to be the old John Wall.
Right.
I think if John Wall is healthy, I can have the Wizards finishing in the top 6. I think the Pacers are going to fall out because of the whole coach freaking switching out, and
that's tough.
That's tough. Yeah, I think the Wizards have a chance. That's why I don't think they're willing to shop Bradley Beal. And if they do trade him, I feel like it has to knock their socks off. And I don't think the Mavericks have a trade that can do that.
That's fair enough.
As far as Oladipo, you're not worried about, is your thing is you're not more so worried about his health because he wouldn't have the workload that he has in it. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Plus our history with guys with injuries.
That's true.
Like the KP thing, I think people are looking at that as, him being injury prone, but it's a different knee and a completely different injury, and it's a contact injury.
Right.
You can't do anything about that. Right. That's not him deteriorating. That's he banged knees with a guy.
Yeah, that's just an injury that happens in basketball.
Right. So I don't look at that as a thing. Like the fact that my whole thing this year was, can we get him through a season? And we did that.
Sure.
So I'm very confident in our ability to assess and protect guys with injuries. We took care of Seth coming off of a stress fracture. Like we're not gonna let a guy hurt himself.
We signed. Did we sign Wesley Matthews off an ACL injury?
Yep, yeah. Wesley Matthews as well. Yep. Like we take care of our guys, and I think that's something that people around the league know as well. Like players know that. Like Kawhi left San Antonio because they tried to make him play hurt.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So like, I think I trust it for that reason, and then also like you said, he wouldn't have as big of a role, and I think that he was at his best when he was able to play a lot with the ball in his hands. I don't think he fits well with Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon is more of a true point guard than a combo guard.
Right, like he needs to facilitate for everybody.
Right. I think, okay, I like that. So would you have Oladipo in like a starting role or a 6-man role?
I would have him as a starting role, but I would try to stagger him and Luka as much as possible.
Okay. I like that. When you put it that, I hadn't even really considered Oladipo. So when you put it that way, yeah, that's I like that.
Because if you think back to when he was playing, before Brogdon got there, when he was healthy, when he was the all-star, like his thing was start from way out top and just outrun everybody, get to the basket, get fouled, whatever. Like that hard driving, physical type of guard is what I want beside Luka.
Okay.
Now, Jrue is not exactly the same. He's more smooth with his drives, but it's the same effect. Like he can get to the basket pretty much whenever he wants.
Yeah, I just knew we were going to trade for Jrue last year. I thought the Pelicans were going to trade him, but they decided to keep him. So I'm definitely on board with Jrue. I would love that next to Luka. I feel like he can.
I think he's top of my list.
Huh?
He's probably my number one.
Yeah, as far as the trades, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he would be my. I think he will be my number. He will be my number 2, but the number 1 is a little personal. So he will be my unbiased number 1.
I feel like you holding on to something. It's time to get it out. We about the 50-minute mark almost.
Oh man. I know some people might kill me for this, but I would really like to see Chris Paul in Dallas.
Oh man.
It's a little biased because Chris Paul is my favorite player of all time, and I would love to see my favorite player play for my favorite team and win his first ring here.
Right.
But the pros and cons are, I think Chris Paul would benefit at this age from playing a very reduced role, not only being, he's not going to be a number 2, he's going to be a number 3.
Would he accept that is the question.
That's the question. I'm not sure if his ego will allow him to accept the number 3. I know it'll allow him to set the number 2. Right. I'm not sure about number 3. But the con also is, I don't want the ball out of Luka's hands full time.
Yeah, exactly.
I still want Luka to play point guard. And if Chris Paul comes in, I know his thing with going to Houston was he also he didn't want the ball in his hands all the time. But he also didn't want to sit around and watch James Harden dribble for 20 seconds. So obviously I don't think Luka's going to do that. If they could find a way to make those two fit together, I would love that. But my biggest thing is I'm not sure if I want Luka to be more off ball than be the primary point guard.
And that's the thing with me and the idea of bringing in another true point guard type player.
Right.
And I said this about Luka before he was even drafted by the Mavs, was that if he went to a team with a guy like that, it would affect his development.
Right.
And that was part of why I moved him down on my board. I initially had him at 2 behind Ayton, but I moved him down because I was worried that he was going to end up on a team with a point guard and it was going to be like a clash type situation where he wasn't able to be his best player.
Yeah, like
he's best with the ball in his hands.
People give the Kings crap, but I don't think he would have fit well with De'Aaron Fox at all.
Oh, exactly. It would have been the same thing as with Smith.
Right.
Him and Fox would not have worked together.
Now, granted, I think he would have fit well with Devin Booker in Phoenix.
Oh, that was. I don't know. I still can't believe that. Well, like I said, I understood Ayton was a safer pick. I think.
I don't think so.
And when I say safer, I mean like it's almost the I can't think of the comparison. It was like another draft like that where it was like a guard type player and then a big. Like for sure what Ayton can and can't do.
Okay.
And with Luka, it was, if you put him out there and he struggles to get by guys and stuff like that, now you're stunted. Whereas they knew that Ayton had a definite complementary skill set to Booker.
Was it the Embiid draft? I think that was Russell and Embiid, right? D'Angelo Russell.
It might have been. I can't. Oh, man, I'm struggling. But yeah, that's where I think they went. And like I said, I thought it was the smart pick because I saw Luka as a point guard, but I don't think people were seeing that yet for some reason.
When I wasn't too keen, I don't watch a lot of college ball or overseas, but when the draft time comes around, I try to get hip to it and look up these guys. When I looked up Luka, I'm like, okay, this guy's a point guard, but they kept calling him a forward and a shooting guard. Exactly. And I'm like, what? This guy's clearly a point guard. Exactly. But the thing, I get what you were saying with Ayton, but my thing was as a front office, you have to look to where the league is going. And the kind of big that Ayton is can still live in the league, but I feel like if you really want to win, you got to have that 2 guard or a wing and a guard combo, and that would have been
No,
perfect.
they definitely messed
And I'm
up.
glad they
They
did.
definitely messed up.
I'm so glad they did.
And then the Kings even worse. Like I feel like they could have, if anything, traded or something.
They definitely could. I think well, Vlade Divac is an idiot because he didn't draft Luka. I think because he doesn't like his dad or something. But
yeah, like the fact that I don't even think he considered him,
that's insane.
which is
I didn't know
ridiculous.
that. That's insane. Okay. Wow. No wonder he doesn't have a job anymore. But
Right. But like you said, with like him and Fox probably don't work together. But when you're drafting that high, you pick the best player. Period.
right.
You don't look for a fit. And the same thing with the Suns. Best player, forget the fit.
You pick the best player and you live with the results.
Right. And if you need to shuffle your roster after that, like the Mavs did,
right,
then you do that. But you don't pass on the best player because of what you currently have, especially when your team is ass.
Facts. That's how people lose their job.
Like what are you protecting exactly?
Like imagine if the 76ers would have taken Jason Tatum instead of taking a point guard when they already had a point guard. We'd probably be looking at the Sixers as a championship team right now.
They'd be a dynasty.
Jesus.
There wouldn't be this should they trade Embiid or Ben Simmons right
there
now.
Would be no question.
Have complementary pieces with them.
One slip up. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Change the history of everything. Again, neither of us is going to complain about how any of this shit happened.
I'm not going to complain. Only thing I'll ever complain about is the Mavs not drafting Giannis. But you know what?
Man, look. You know, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I still say that was a payback for us stealing dirt from them, from the Bucks.
Wow. You know what? I never thought of that. And karma's real.
and that's another reason why I can't really get all in on I want Giannis to leave and come to Dallas because, you know, we got dirt from them for Tractor Trailer, rest in peace. And Dirk is the franchise. Like he's that when you think of Dallas Mavericks, you think Dirk Nowitzki. And now they have that with Giannis, and I don't want them to lose that. Like I enjoy small market teams when they get a guy and that guy stays and becomes the face of the franchise. Like I want that for Donovan Mitchell, like all that.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. I don't like the whole the players leave and go to the big market teams. I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't mind guys making their own destiny and choosing where they want to go. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
You have every right. But I really respect what Damian Lillard is doing as far as the Portland.
Exactly. And that's why he's one of my top 2-3 favorite players is Giannis and Dame.
I don't see how anyone who loves basketball cannot like Damian Lillard. Unless you're a Thunder fan. That's it. As far as Giannis, I don't want him in Dallas either, but I have my own reasons. I'm really getting annoyed with all of the Giannis to Dallas stuff on Twitter, but I don't want Giannis to come to Dallas because I want, when Luka wins his first championship, I want it to be definitive that Luka was the guy. If Giannis comes here, it's going to be just like Kobe with Shaq because Shaq was the most dominant player in the league. It does not matter who you put next to him. They're going to play second fiddle.
Right.
Giannis is dominant. He needs a player like Luka next to him. I feel like with a player like Luka next to him, he's going to dominate even more.
We talk about 40 and 15 type games regularly.
Plus, I've never been a fan of the whole super team thing. And let's be completely honest. I don't know if it'll be with KP or not. But if you put Luka and Giannis together, period, it gets kind of ugly for the rest of the league.
I don't want to be a hypocrite.
I don't want to be a hypocrite because I didn't like it any other time, and I'm not going to change it now because it's my team.
So, you might have noticed that kind of cut off abruptly. I actually cut it off in the middle of his Giannis speak because we started getting into other things after that. And again, that will be released as a bonus episode tomorrow. So feel free to check back for that if you are subscribed. And again, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I think it was very different from my conversation with Kenny, and that's the goal. As I want to talk to some different people with some different opinions from different backgrounds. So again, I'm excited going forward how this is gonna look. And I've already got a pretty good list of people I want to hit up. Some people may tell me no, and then you get bumped up the list. So, again, reach out if you are interested, and if I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. So, this has been yet another edition of the Bibbs Corner podcast, and we will be back tomorrow with the bonus episode, Sunday with the movie episode, and then next week we got our third conversation, and I am not 100% sure who that is going to be yet, so looking forward to it. Peace.